I need to get over here. There I am. Good morning, everyone. The button's been pushed, the stream is live, and everything is hunky-dory once again in the world of what are we going to get done this week? I don't know about you, but traditionally I have found that the week of the big holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I really can't say any of the others really take up as much of a block of time, regardless, you know. Maybe it's the whole shopping season thing and you're making your last minute preparations or whatever else you're doing. Let me get rid of that box. I don't need that box right now. That box can go over there because I'm on this box here. Boy, it has been a busy morning on my end. We had a wonderful birthday for Caitlin yesterday. She had a grand old time, and it was good. It was a good day. I want to give a big shout out actually to the folks, the merchants and such in downtown Branson. I got to tell you guys, for conversations I've heard when it comes to like parking being a problem for a place, well, here's the reality as I see it. When it comes to if you build it, they will come, it really applies there because downtown Branson was hopping, man, and there's no parking. There's not. Comparatively speaking to anything, there's really no parking down there, but man alive, the humans were alive and roaming and smiling and really having a good time. So, and we had went to this, I think it's called Main Street Flea Market, I hope that is correct, but a fun little joint. But prior to that, we actually went through downtown Hollister, and I think it's Dickinson Street or Dickinson Street. You would think by now I know this because, you know, it's been there forever, and definitely the forever since I've been here. And yeah, and I love that. It was so funny. It was like, what the title of the episode today was going to be like deja vu all over again, because it seems like almost like every time I go down there, I get a little brief taste of deja vu. But yesterday, the deja vu like would not let go for hours, right? I mean, hours and hours and hours. And I really had to put some thought into it because it was like straight up hardcore deja vu. And I'm like, wow, I don't know. And then pondering it and thinking about it, the best I could kind of, because sure, I've been there before, but it wasn't that type of deja vu because yeah, I'd been there before. Good morning, Damien. Love there. But yeah, it was really cool, but my mind kind of took me back to where the pangs of deja vu, I guess you'd call it, came from, and it was actually kind of taking me back to 2005 when I went on a business road trip with a pal of mine, and he was working on a music project, and I was working with him, and we were going down to Louisiana to meet up with a saxophone player. And anyway, we'd stopped at some of the dives along the way that he knew, the side streets, if you will. And, you know, that's 20 years ago, so I don't know what is or what isn't there anymore. But one thing that I do know that was there at the time and that it was definitely the impedance or the thing that really pushed the deja vu of yesterday is those side roads and places that, again, they're not the big box stores or any of that. It's old school Americana, and wow, it's so organic and everything, and it was amazing. It was like really overwhelming. So that was kind of, I think that's kind of where I pinpointed that deja vu feeling, and it was awesome. It really was. Like I say, it was one part the temperature, one part the smell, if you will, the sights, because like in downtown Hollister, I've always found it interesting. As soon as you like pull right off the highway there and then you cut down like Dickerson Street, I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, correct me. But anyway, there are a row of shops that are there that almost looks like, from what I recall as a kid learning about Shakespeare and the way it looked through there, it's sort of like a Shakespearean village type thing, and it's neat. Or maybe Victorian, I don't know, but I do, no, not Victorian, definitely had to be Shakespearean, the way the shops, the facades and everything look, just charming, oh my gosh. And it's tight, there's not much there, but it was alive. And then when we got to downtown Branson, which again, tip of the hat to the folks with the Branson plannings and such, they've done a great job because there's such a cohesive feeling down there that it was a Sunday but the majority of everything was open, and the people, again, no parking. All the parking spots were full, and there was just so much energy and high vibes and happy and smiling. Shakespeare's Elizabethan. Thank you, Damien, for fixing that for me. So there you go. So when Queen Elizabeth ruled the roost, and they built things around that time, and I guess they built it in her image. I don't know. I'm working on the coffee a lot this morning. Because again, it was a good day, but a little bit of an exhausting day because we were on the move a lot and had an absolute ball when it came to Caitlin's party times. And yeah, it was good. It really was. I'll have to share some pictures of the cake because I couldn't reveal that yesterday because, well, you know, she might have caught wind to it thanks to the interconnectedness of the internet, and I wanted to definitely keep the surprise factors going. So anyway, so that was the day yesterday, and that was really cool. And kind of getting back to the topic on hand, when it comes to being productive on the big Christmas week, when the old song was going, the 12 days of Christmas, which I think it's been verified now that the 12 days of Christmas actually start on Christmas Day and then go forward. Is that correct? Yeah, and so anyway, but I always thought of it as the lead up to Christmas, right? The 12 days leading up to Christmas were the 12 days of Christmas, but I guess actually it's from Christmas for the next 12 days is the 12 days. Which one do you think? Traditionally, I'm used to the 12 days leading up to Christmas in my head, or is it actually the other way? I don't know. I'm curious, but I do not much gets done. Everybody is in that final push for the Christmas stuff as far as shopping or praying for shopping to happen. And now with the Powerball now being up to $1.6 billion with a B, I'm sure there'll be a lot more of those Powerball tickets sold. And I hope somebody out there, or lots of somebodies, because that's a pretty good pot to split. So we'll see how that goes. Just don't get, you know, I've never been a lottery player. You know, it's like, sure, I picked up a scratcher or two here and there when I get the hunch, and sometimes it pays off. Never anything super significant. Now, on my birthday, I had a pretty good pop from a gift scratcher that I got from my brother-in-law. That was pretty cool. How much? I ain't telling you, but it was good. It wasn't bad. It was like, because normally if a majority of the ones that I have the hunch and I buy and I win on, I normally break even. So I think it just, I don't know, it just fuels the dopamine because I don't have I can be compulsive, but I don't have an addictive personality in things. On the whole, I can walk away from anything. You know, sometimes I might get a little caught up, but on the whole, I can walk away and not start fiending for stuff. But yeah, the Powerball, $1.6 billion. If you're going to play, please play responsibly. That's a public service message from me to your future self because you might do something kind of crazy. But also thinking about this whole productive, non-productive aspect of the week, I'd seen that the president had signed an executive order to where now December 24th and 26th are now part of the federal holiday span of Christmas. And, you know, on one side, the side A of the equation is, this is great. You get more family time, federal workers do. And probably everyone who follows that federal clock or calendar, that probably applies. Maybe, but I wonder what that'll do to the mail. I don't know. Anyway, point being is the side A, feel good, fluffy. Okay, I get that. But then the side B, the more practical and most likely, this is a really good political positioning image thing, in my opinion, right? Because the truth is, like I stated in the beginning, is that this week of Christmas is not the most productive time in the world, except for, say, retail. So I could say, you know, it's sort of like one of the old things of thinking, you know, the water's free, you know, all the air, a lifetime supply, that type of thing. It's like, well, you know, nothing's going to work, so you really take it and P.T. Barnum it and say, well, you're not going to do crap on the 26th anyway, so you know what, take the day off. It's better off for everyone. And then just in 24th the same way, just to where you shine the spokes of what is otherwise, you know. So in that, either way it goes, I call it a good PR move. Great for the Fed folks who are working or not working any time. But no, seriously, no, I'm serious. But there you go. What else is going on here? Now, this one I was very, very, very happy to see. Yesterday, as some of you may know, I kicked off my gift to you, a very Merry Christmas, in regards to my book, Toys Are Totems. And I've got the ebook that is listed on Amazon, totally free, the ebook, okay? And I had a pop yesterday. I was like so tickled when I finally got to check the numbers this morning, because it's like, it popped nice. I'm happy with it because it's like the biggest promo push, considering everything that I'm doing is totally organic. It leans on you, and whenever I post things, now I did go the full 9 and I posted the promo on the Facebook, the X, and I think I may have put something up on YouTube, but I was having an issue with that, and then also TikTok. Yeah, those 4 bases there I touched. And it was great. Now again, I'm not talking about gangbuster numbers here, but gangbusters for this book in my promotion, because I went from sitting on nothing for the month as far as the ebook downloads to it popped 16 downloads yesterday. I'm very, very, very happy with that, because 16 downloads off an organic push, something's clicking, and I'm happy with that. Because again, the book is to be read. That's why I wrote it. And I'm hoping that it will do for the readers out there as it's done for me, or I wouldn't have wrote it, right? So I'm very happy with that. And then when I looked at the other numbers, and I put those up on the Facebook page, let's see if I can get to that real quick, and I'll share it with you. Let's come over here. Let's see if I can get that working proper. There, it looks like crap. But I'll put it on the screen anyway, and I'll read it to you. So the biggest thing that was like, whoa, that is pretty darn cool. You know, let's see if this will look better. It will. There we go. So we'll come over here to the Amazon listing. And then you come down here into the rankings of things. Where did you go, rankings of things? Pardon the vertigo scrolling. I apologize. But I'm happy with this. Again, I've never been one to like chase the pole position titles, things like that. I've never been one to really do that. It's never been part of my thing. However, it was nice to see. Now, again, this is the free ebook version, okay? When I hit these type of numbers and the paperback sold thing, whole different ball game. We're all going to have a whole lot of coffee on Jim. But when I saw this, now it's so funny, like, now this number here in the free Kindle store thing is 4,634. That's actually a huge jump, because the number of titles in the Kindle store is massive. I mean, massive, massive. I'm talking like, I think there's like 1 million plus in there. So to pop up to 4,000, I'll take that. That's a good number. But here are the ones that made me go, whoa, dude. Let's get the second screen up and come all the way in on it. Can you see my cursor? Yeah. Now, the number 3 in happiness, number 3 in creativity, self-help, and number 12 in self-esteem, self-help. See, I'm really, really cool with those numbers, and it feels good. It's like, it's not about value. The validation in the book's worth won't show up until reviews come in, right? And right now I'm doing good there. I like where I'm at. I'd like to have a whole lot more, and that's where I'm hoping the book promotion works. But I'm happy with that. I'm sitting at 5 stars for reviews. That's a good thing. I like that. And then again, like I say, to crawl up in those charts, and I hope to see that, if I can hold it, that'd be awesome. If I can increase it, even better. But I can only do that with you and other miscellaneous pushes that I'm going to be doing over the span of the promotion that runs through Christmas, right? Because again, I want the book read. That's more important to me than anything else, because that's its point and purpose. But hopefully, though, if you do, just try the ebook. I mean, seriously, when it's totally free and all you got to do is go, it's a short read, it's quick, to the point, and I think it can be beneficial. But if it really hits with you, you might seriously consider getting a copy of the paperback for the sake of the journal pages in the back, making your own notes. I find it to be, it's a product I can push. And that's why it's like the first pillar there, as far as like one product, then one service, then one project. But that said, anyway, I'm very happy with those numbers. I want to share those with you because, again, it's thanks to you and your participation and sharing. Because even if you're like, dude, I am never going to read that, I'm never going to do anything with it, I do not want to bother with it, but you can share that post, and I would appreciate it, because that's how everything works now. It's all about word of mouth advertising, marketing, and promotion. So there you go. Now it's on my end to put together things that can be interesting for you to want to share. And so I'll be working on that. I got a couple other things on the plate today that I am looking forward to doing. And again, because I have the self-discipline to still work on the weekend, or on the weekends too, but on the weeks that most folks don't, because I legitimately enjoy what I do. Let's see what else here. That you don't need any concerns with, or have any concerns with. Dun, dun, and I've already talked about that. Okay, cool. So now we're just kind of the free balling Monday thing and seeing how everything's going. Richard, man, it is so good to see you out here on the webs, man. Really and truly been forever since we've chatted. And yeah, there you go. Yeah, and so there you go. So good morning, Richard. But everybody who's out there, again, thank you all so very much for doing that with the book. And again, share the link. That's all you got to do. That's it. That's all I'm asking. And again, links are funny because when you share them on your platforms, they tend to not get seen because platforms don't want you to leave the platforms. Even doing the whole link in the comments or link in description or something like that, it'll still get you pulled back until it starts getting traction by accident. It will pick up, but the key is consistency. And that's where when we go into, like when it comes to the evergreen content that I'm encouraging people to create for themselves, or if we're a good fit, I can work with you to help you do that. Consistency is key. And like the way I have structured this current version of the evergreen content package is I do a deliverable that leaves you with 45 pieces of content that you can schedule out over the span of 5 weeks. Imagine that. Now, I do the heavy lifting for you on this particular, but you can do it yourself. But I do the heavy lifting for you to where we sit down a couple hours and then you're done until I'm done, which I try to turn everything pretty quick. But then you'll come out with 45 quote memes, 15 micro blogs, 15 long form blogs, and 15 videos, micro videos from that 2 hour sit down. And again, that 2 hours that you invested with me turns into 5 weeks. And I stand on that because I feel that's a good investment of your cash, because that's one of the things in the world of advertising is getting that return on investment, the ROI, that it's always been a sticking point for me. It's like, because I've never been one to have a career of sales in media. I never wanted to, because it's normally advertising and sponsorship. I've done it, yes, but I don't really care to do it. It's not my forte. My job is to be the pen or pencil to paper guy that comes up with the stuff that does the thing that they're selling you on. And that could be tough. And nowadays, the way the industries have changed, be it radio, television, print, whatever, online, there are certain things that just simply cannot be guaranteed. And anyone who tells you that they can guarantee you success with a campaign, take it with a grain of salt and look for and ask and request for their references, right? Because I cannot guarantee you that. What I can guarantee is that you will have a package of content that's delivered to you as a service, and it's yours forever and ever. And we're going to do our best to create the things that have legs beyond that 5-week run, right? To where if someone came across it in a week or month, a year, 5 years, 10 years down the road, it still has some form of relevance. Stories never go out of style. They may get updated or need to be updated, but at its core, it's solid as rock, man. It's not going to change unless you found out you were lying. But that's a whole different story. Moving on. So again, that's just kind of how that all works. The virtual stump being that third pillar of my 3-pillar lifestyle is going well. I've got the people reaching out now. Alicia's done a great job in her organic outreach to get all the rest of the Boone County candidates getting us in touch so we can get these things recorded, packed out, loaded up, and sent off into the world to hopefully get people awareness of the people who want to serve them and the people that get represented. And because that's it. It's like a connected community is an informed community no matter where you are. And that's really my mission, because it is hard now, because we are so scattered all over the place. You know, it's like finding centralized. I respect people who have the ability to stay focused in on their like information and entertainment intake. Like Damien, I'm going to call you out here. It's like you are doing great because I know you're going to be here, Lord willing, the creeks don't rise, but I also know you've made it a regular habit/ritual to tune in with Gar and Horrible Horror on Saturday nights, and that's fantastic. And to have those things are wonderful in a world that is so fragmented and spread out all over the place. Yeah, it's cool like that. So anyway, I salute you, sir, for not getting caught up in just the static and the noise. 20 minutes into the 8 o'clock hour, it's going to be spring. I forgot to mention that. Isn't it funny? It's going to be a spring-like Christmas. So on the one hand, it seems like kind of a bummer of what we expect Christmas to feel and look like, you know, the white Christmas thing. Oh, you Bing Crosby, did you set a standard that was always kind of a little bit of a fib? But at the same time, it was a great visual and a wonderful idea, and it was always nice to be a thing to strive for, because it's fun, it feels good, you know. Cold weather means you get to snuggle. Snowed in, icy weather, you get to do a little bit more. So it's fun and merriment and all that, you know, as long as you like the people you're around. So, you know, but it's going to be, and this is not the first time that we've had such a warm Christmas. I remember numerous times throughout, again, my 52 years on the planet. It always seems weird because we've got it programmed in our heads that no, Christmas is supposed to be totally cold and icy. No, not necessarily. Maybe, but it's a pattern. It's a weather pattern. It happens. So, there you go. Oh, and the world, I was kind of like doing the look around to see what all was going on out there, to see if I missed anything. Nope. Again, a holding pattern in everything, including the most top of the line, energy efficient, gluten-free conspiracies. They're all in a holding pattern. I saw there was a new thing that popped into regard to like the TPUSA thing, which is funny. It's like, I don't have an opinion on that organization, what they're doing per se, post, you know, Charlie Kirk getting assassinated. But there are a lot of interesting, weird things that just make no sense, that seem to go kind of against what Charlie was doing. And again, I got a little bit of opinion in that, I guess, but on the whole, not a lot. But I find it interesting, with like, okay, I guess the big talking point distraction of it all right now is that Nicki Minaj, showed up on the stage, just a surprise guest. I find that interesting considering how well things are coordinated in those, because it's a big event. When you got a big event, you normally don't go into surprise stuff because it throws a lot of things off. And Nicki Minaj, I don't know very much about the young lady. She's a pop star person, and her stuff that I have heard was horrid. I didn't like her messaging. I didn't like any of it. But that's just me, just my opinion. If you do, knock yourself out. But for a TPUSA event, you're talking about polar opposites here, man. But again, if you're a Christian organization and an outreach, then your motivation is to reach all people. Otherwise, you're kind of missing the whole point of Christianity. And that's not my opinion. That's really how it works. So to open it wide like that, that's fantastic. But at the same time, I don't know. But I found it interesting, and it's a talking point that I just got on board with for a second, and it's like, okay. Only because it's like everything else is so slow. And that'll be another thing when it comes to like what 2026 looks like. I'm interested in the bobblehead space, because when you look at the talking points that like all of the big names share, and before it was always in just the traditional media space, and like, remember seeing those videos where they would wind up, you know, they'd start with one anchor person reading a script off a teleprompter that we here do, and then they start populating it with all the other anchors from all over the other places, and everybody's reading the exact same script verbatim, and it's freaky, and it's Big Brother, and you know what I'm talking about, right? So when you see all of that, and then now you see it in the alternative media space, where you're supposed to start getting, you should get more of the obscure perspectives, points of view, headlines, stories. You don't. Now, they're all sharing the same talking points. One's got a little different spin than the other one does, but it's all the same. So that now what was once the obscure alternative media space, they're all following the same dog and pony show. And it's all for the same reasons. Non-conspiracy, total fact, you go where the money's at in this space. Just how it works. If it makes money, you talk about it. And that's what's encouraged, right? Because that's what's going to retain viewership and people playing along. And if you're wanting to grow audience, then get on the trend, because then no. I mean, do that if you want to, but what good is that? It's like you're becoming your own reboot, rehash system, instead of expressing something unique and different that is totally you. Seriously, and like I say, you can make a mention of the trending stuff if you want, like I just did there. But on the whole, I would rather talk to you about things that nobody else is talking about. It's more interesting. And speaking of which, coming up, go ahead and mark the date, because there's going to be a nighttime stream. It'll be Sunday, December the 28th, 7 p.m. Everything go as it should. I'm going to be doing what I feel is a very important live stream. I've got a special guest lined up, and we're going to talk about things. See, people don't like talking about real world problems. All of those problems inside of the talking point space and bobbleheads and all that, that's on some level, it may impact you in your day-to-day life. Most likely it won't. But what we will be talking about on December 28th at 7 p.m., again, mark your calendar, is remarkably important to you where you are. And there's unfortunately, a larger percentage of people who are being impacted by this topic. And what is this topic? This topic is suicide. I'm going to do a special. Again, I got a special guest. So I'll share more about it as we continue to move forward. But along with seasonal depression, as it's traditionally been, suicide numbers go up a lot, right? But in the past year, the numbers of suicides in this region alone have been exceptionally higher than the average. And nobody talks about it. And there comes a time when you have to have these discussions, because for me, it's a multi-fold conversation that's going to be held. One thing, to be there for the people who are feeling so low that they think this is it, they can't take any more. That's one aspect of it. And then the resources to help in that, and that's good. But the other side of the whole coin that I want to talk about is the people who are impacted after the fact. Because and this is not some new perspective or insight, if you will, or reveal, that the aftermath of a suicide has such a larger web of people forever changed because of the act of one person. And again, their motivations are their own. You hope to stop someone from feeling so despondent that they lose the value of life that they have. I do anyway. But it's after the fact. It's no secret to anyone who knows me, followed me all these years on this place in the box, that a year ago, December 28th, 2024, we were impacted directly. And it was probably one of the most tragic, now I can say it was the most tragic experience of my entire life. Again, the event itself and then the aftermath. Horrid. And there's a lot of things that I want to do this program for, because people don't talk about that. And that, to me, is the things that people need to talk about. Again, it's not just, the things that lead up to, people don't talk about, because there's some things that, however possible, it can be taboo. How the hell is anything taboo in the 21st century with the internet, and social media, for real? Because it's all over the place now. But anyway, so that came together over the weekend. I think it was Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. And like I said, I'm just working on a couple. Actually, everything is worked out. We're waiting on the day, and I set the day intentionally, because there are certain people that I understand watch this podcast every morning and share it with other people, that I want them to know this, the aftermath, the reality of it all, the truth of it all. That have the conversation. You can't keep your head in the sand all the damn time, and everything is not hunky-dory, and everything isn't ran through filters or AI generated Christmas photos, which have fun and play with the tools, absolutely, but be careful of what you're playing with. because they are also, for every tool that's handy, it's a tool that could be a weapon. Um, and there's a lot of those things to unpack because, again, the human race, no matter where you are, I don't care what your race, religion, sex, creed, color, nationality, every single one of us moving into 2026 are going to see changes in our society, makeup, and structure that we've never seen before. And there will be no stopping it because until you or I come up with our own currency, the people who have that currency are going to be the ones who dictate everything that we see and do, period. You can be a rebel all you want, you cannot acquiesce as much as you want, but at the end of the day, you're still going to have to because they're going to be, think about it like this. I remember in the early days of like credit cards really coming to prominence and debit cards equally. And I remember the people talking about, no, I'll just use cash, man. I'll just use cash. Well, here's the trick. You can't put that cash right there at all. You have to convert it to a digital currency of some sort to where it can be moved around. And like, remember the days when you could actually walk into the office of your electric utility to pay your bill? Those have been gone a very long time, very, very long time. But they did keep certain avenues open and like affiliates like here locally, and I presume you still can, but like Hudson's Grocery, you could still pay like some of your, well, definitely your energy bill, maybe Windstream, I'm not 100% sure on that, but you could go by there and you could pay it, right? There was still the digital conversion to make that happen, but you could still take your cash into that location and give it to them. But how much longer? Because the bigger majority of it, if you wanted to actually handle your own business without talking to somebody else about your business, yeah, you have to convert. So that's when in the uproar of digital currency and all of that and digital IDs, if you think for a second, there is something on this level of you and me, the normies, are really going to be able to do about that, brace yourself, bucko, because it's going to not be as, your expectations should be very careful because you're not going to stop it. That sounds so caustic and cold, Jim. Get some more coffee. You're cranky. Not cranky. It's just part of conversations that do need to happen. And if we don't have those conversations and get not loud in that I'm going to protest and boycott way, but loud in that, man, y'all need to hear this way, that perhaps the guy with the sandwich board, the end is nigh, standing on the corner, which we don't see that anymore. Where did you people go? Have they been completely downsized, outsourced, or something like that? Where are you going, my friend? That is a terrible joke, but I don't care, and I didn't deliver it well. But I think I planted the seed for those who, you get it. But I don't know. Again, we're, like I said, but it's still a good time. It's a joyous time. We have, think about it like this. For everything that's a technological advancement that you go into kicking and screaming, begrudging and everything, think about the technology that's come along that's been pretty cool. Like photography. Photography in and of itself, along with audio and video recording over the span of the last century, has advanced so much that you have the ability to capture and share moments from today, yesterday, last year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 100 years ago, right? Commonplace. And they evolved from the physical, using a plate inside of a camera or rust on the side of an acetate tape to capture sound and manipulate it, which is still the craziest sorcery in the world to me. And I did it for a long time and I understand the basics of it. However, you got to think about the crazy some guy who decided that we're going to do it like this, and it worked. Nuts. Really. Amazing. That's why when it comes to the conversation of aliens, extraterrestrials, advanced technology, man, take that and go somewhere else. Number one, just no. No, they're not more advanced than us. Did they? No, I'm just not going to give into that narrative anymore because I find it insulting to we, the human species, who created everything you see. But we back engineered it from aliens. Prove it. More so than a guy with goofy hair on the History Channel. No, I don't want to hear that. It's crap. It's a fun fiction. It's neat to think about. But prove it. Show me. And I've seen the digs, like, again, I'm a very much can't say I'm a student of David Icke, but I truly appreciate the research that he's collected together. Graham Hancock, same thing. But again, when you're looking back and you're having to interpret and connect dots from things that did happen and truly understand the context of what was happening that was captured on stone tablets or walls with finger paints or whatever, yeah, that's very interesting, but there's still dot connecting happening. Not that it's wrong, but not that it's right either. I don't know. But I do know in this reality in which we all share in this very moment right now, the things that I see in front of me, I can trace back to a human who started it. And it all started from an idea, from the imagination that made the impossible possible. That doesn't make me one who is sold on this technocratic, scientific basis of reality as we know it, no. But they're tools of the overall great. We just were able to come up with better ideas and ways to use stuff. So, yeah, in that. But man, they're a higher and more intelligent species. No, they're not. Show it, prove it. Once I actually can, all 5 of my senses can interact with the higher intelligence that is the aliens and extraterrestrials floating around in the skies using the same damn headlights we've got, come on. Then we'll have a conversation about it in a manner of giving them some kind of credit when I got more faith in you, my fellow humans, than I do in that nonsense. But it's a fun story, and I want the stories to continue because they're great food for thought. They Live is a documentary, right? Now, that one I'm still really leaning into. So, let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, that's the thing. Going back to the Nicki Minaj thing, Damien commented that she apparently is very conservative outside of her on-stage persona. Well, what's funny with that, and I'm down with it. I get it. You've got the stage version of you, the on-camera version of you, versus the I'm at home version of you. Okay, fine. I mean, I get that. It's totally cool. But at the same time, the level of difference between her dynamics, the stage version versus her personal feelings, is, there's a compromise inside of there that lends into that selling your soul aspect of stuff. Because if you have these traditional conservative values, but at the same time you have a stage image and presence that the best word I can use is that you're glorifying being a hooch, there's something there. It's like you're using and again, I don't like using these terms like this, but when you're using the darkness for the sake of making the cash, when you're over here with the goodness and morals and standards that you live by, but you're promoting the other side of that look, there's a hypocrisy there. And that's the thing I have. Like a Marilyn Manson. I mean, that guy, he leaned into the persona hardcore and scared the hell out of everybody, right? And milked it for his career, and it worked for him, right? But again, at least it was performance enough that you could see, really, dude, come on. But again, I don't know. It's just a thing. And now that we've moved away from scripted entertainment to being our source of entertainment into more of the reality-based stuff that's never really reality. Now, this is a reality to an extent. If you've ever met me, I'm pretty much the same. For the most part, I've never been one to put up too much of a front, but there is always a line. There is a line there because whenever I'm, depending on who and what we're talking about, there will be things that I'll say to you in person that I won't say on camera. Why? For me, it's a matter of I don't want to influence you because I did do that for a long time. Whenever, again, a station or my own independent projects would bring in that revenue source, I'd be a little more biased than I normally would towards a particular product, good, or service from someone. Nowadays, no, I'm going to shoot straight from the hip on any and everything that I recommend because, again, I'm building this, my platform-ish thing is not built on advertising and sponsors for those reasons. I don't want to ever be compromised again. And not that I have any begrudging feelings towards anyone that I've done anything with, per se. But I know the spin meister, spin doctor, unknowingly participant in the cult of Edward Bernays and propaganda that I'm not going to consciously do it now. That's why I created one product, one service, and one project to sustain myself, my family, and my soul for the rest of my days. I'm going to wrap this thing up. It's Monday again. I'm getting my list together and scratching things off as I go. But remember, the ebook version of Toys and Totems is available totally for free at Amazon.com. I've got links going up more and more and more. If you've read the book and you'd like to, and it does something good for you, or if it does something good for you, please leave a review. If it absolutely destroys your reality and screws up everything in your life, make a note of that too, because that could be a problem. I don't think it will, but if it does, let somebody else know, because they may be a lot like you, and I don't want to screw another person up. But give it a go. Share the links. All you got to do. All you got to do. Won't hurt you. Won't cost you a dime. And like I say, all reviews are truly appreciated, because again, I've got a goal of 11,000 copies read. And I want that to be either the free version like right now, or to get the paperback, either, both, more. I'm good, but I'm shooting for that 11,000 number. And again, last night's spike was fantastic. And to see just those simple little numbers, and it's like any other type of poll or statistic or anything, you can play with those numbers all day long to get them to say what you want. You can create a brand new category that you're number one in because you're the only one in it. I didn't do that, but you know what I'm saying? So I have no delusions of grandeur in it at all. My expectations are based on knowing that I've got to do the work of doing the advertising, marketing, and promotion of this thing. But I can't do it without your help, because I'm not going to spend cash on an advertising campaign online. Because I've tested just enough, and it may work for you. That's great. I'm not telling you not to do something. If it works for you, go for it. Be sure you understand the realistic expectations of your efforts, where your cash is involved. That's just how I am. And I've been the bane of salespeople for a long time because of that. And I don't care, because we all have to earn it. Again, I'll quote Earl Nightingale one more time. People who say they want to make money, well, they're missing the point. The only people who make money work at the mint. The rest of us have to earn it. And I love that line. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So anyway, I got to get to work. It's Monday. It's Christmas week, and we're going to have a holly jolly merry time every single morning at 8 o'clock, and should be on Christmas Day too, I think. In the event that's not going to happen, I'll let you know. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to pull off an 8 o'clock. Maybe quick, but we're still going to be here. We're going to have coffee. We're going to share ideas and encourage one another to continue enhancing organic creativity and connection in the world of AI and social media, because humans, we need it. What keeps us going. So let me put this up, and then I'm going to click this little set of pixels here with this little device, and we'll chat again in the morning. I hope you all have a fantastic day and a great Christmas week. Watch the traffic, and if you're one of those who drive like an asshole, stop it. There's no reason, okay? Okay. Be safe out there. See you guys in the morning.